This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, an early morning exchange of gunfire between sheriff's deputies and a Manatee County man. The incident led to road closures and evacuations. ABC 7's Ray Collins has been following this story all morning long and joins us now with an update. Ray?
Scott, the week is off to a fast start for detectives in Manatee County. It all began about 4 o'clock this morning with residents calling 911 about shots fired around 38th Avenue East and 301. Deputies tried to contact a man inside a house who they say began to fire at them. Now a SWAT team was called in and the neighborhood was roped off. The chief deputy said they initially thought it was a home invasion call.
Later on, we got called out in reference to possible shots fired in the area, and once we came back to the scene, the deputies were fired upon. We did return fire. No one was hit or injured.
Deputies arrested this man, 34-year-old Mark Davis. They charged him with aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer. No word yet what caused the incident. Much more on the story tonight at 5. For now, back to you, Scott.
All right, Ray, thank you so much. Also in Manatee County, deputies are still investigating a Lakewood Ranch murder. It took place in Greenbrook Park around midnight early Sunday. Investigators say an on-duty security guard found 23-year-old Alexander Troupe with severe injuries near his vehicle. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Investigators say Troupe suffered upper body trauma and was likely targeted. News of the murder shocked those who live nearby.
We're very concerned and upset about it, since this is usually a very nice neighborhood and quiet and peaceful, and it's really kind of a shame. It's frightening, actually.
So far, no arrests have been made. Anyone with information in this case is asked to call Manatee County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. President Trump facing new criticism for once again defending Russian President Vladimir Putin. This at the same time he's taking aim at a federal judge who halted his immigration order nationwide. ABC's Janae Norman breaks down the bipartisan backlash from Washington.
I do respect him.
President Trump telling Fox News' Bill O'Reilly he respects Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I respect a lot of people, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get along with him. He's a leader of his country. I say it's better to get along with Russia than not. And if Russia helps us in the fight against ISIS, which is a major fight, and Islamic terrorism all over the world, right? Major fight, that's a good thing. Will I get along with him? I have no idea. It's very
He's a
possible
killer,
I
though.
won't.
Putin's a killer.
A lot of killers. We got a lot of killers. Why, you think our country's so innocent?
The backlash, even from Republicans, was swift.
There is no moral equivalency between the United States of America, the greatest freedom-loving nation in the history of the world, and the murderous thugs that are in Putin's defense of his cronyism.
The president still stirring controversy on another front, attacking the federal judge who halted his travel restrictions, allowing foreign nationals from the 7 restricted countries to enter the U.S., calling him a so-called judge and tweeting, "Just cannot believe a judge would put our country in such peril. If something happens, blame him in court system. People pouring in, bad." An appeals court rejected the administration's plea for an emergency ruling that would have reinstated that executive order. But a panel of 3 judges is set to review the issue, and a new court ruling could come as early as today. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Janae, thank you. Also today, President Trump is making his first visit to the headquarters for U.S. Central Command and United States Special Operations Command. Both are located at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa. ABC 7's Adam Cellini joins us live with a preview of the president's agenda today in the Bay Area. Adam.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott. We are here at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa. The president on site. We saw his motorcade roll through here just about 15 minutes ago. He'll be here for the next couple of hours with a busy schedule. First, he will be getting, according to staff, he will be briefed by leaders from Central Command and Special Operations Command, as you mentioned, both headquartered here at MacDill Air Force Base. Now, on Central Command's website, it says their goal since 2001, 9/11 of 2001, has been to stop terrorism, and they currently oversee see all of our forces in the Middle East, parts of Asia, and parts of Africa, including 4 of the 7 countries that have been flagged by Trump's recent travel ban. Now, Central Command was also overseeing a recent raid in Yemen in which a Navy SEAL was killed, believed to be the first casualty under President Trump's command thus far. Now, Trump arrived today from his Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach County and is expected, as we mentioned, to stay on site for a couple of hours. While on site, he'll also be having lunch with troops, and he is expected to make some remarks. We'll be bringing you the details from those later on this evening. For now, live in Tampa, Adam Cellini. Scott, back to you in the studio.
All right, Adam, we'll see you at 5 o'clock here on ABC 7. Thank you so much. Record-breaking crowds over the weekend for the 3rd annual Bradenton River Area River Regatta. Organizers say at least 100,000 people attended the festivities. That tops previous attendance estimates. The regatta brings in some of the best racers in the country, from Formula 2 powerboats to hydrocross jet skis. And it's also a big economic boost to Manatee County. Organizers are now awaiting an economic impact study on the race. And the weather for it pretty much perfect. That was filed from last year when it rained on the event, but no such thing this year. It was beautiful.
No, but I actually had a sprinkle at my house.
Did you really?
On Sunday morning, of all things. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a weird weekend. You know, we had 78, well above average on Saturday, then 71, below average on Sunday, and today we'll probably top it out near 80 before we end up the week cold again, at least cool again. So, you know, kind of a little bit of a roller coaster that we're on, continues on again this week. Nice start to the day, though. Fan Weasel webcam showing some pretty skies to start off the day. A little bit of clouds moved in from time to time. We had some patchy fog around, probably will again tomorrow morning. And other than that, really don't see too big of a chance of rainfall today, although inland areas, maybe a slight chance. We'll look at temperatures that are already climbing nicely into the 70s. We've got 76 at Lakewood Ranch, 77 in Sarasota, Northport at 77, 76 in Venice, Bradenton the same. Inland temperatures, 77 in Arcadia, 74 Wauchula. I think we'll probably top it out at about 80 today. Pretty warm for this time of year as we start this new work week. And then as we head into the next couple of days, got changes coming. We'll talk about those in just a few minutes, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. A local advocate for red light cameras is planning to plead with state lawmakers to keep the law that allows their use. The Bradenton Herald reporting Melissa Wandel is traveling to Tallahassee tomorrow to fight for a new effort to repeal the Mark Wandel Traffic Safety Act. That act is named after her husband, Mark, who was killed by a red light runner in 2003, just 2 weeks before their daughter was born. The act authorized the use of red light cameras statewide. Those against the cameras claim they increase crashes at intersections where they're installed. Supporters say they save lives. Well, let's face it, traffic on the Suncoast roads can be pretty frustrating this time of year, especially during the peak tourist season when drivers come here from all over the country. But have you ever thought about your own driving skills and how it can contribute to the madness? Here in Florida, you only need to take the driving test when it's your first time getting a driver's license. There's no requirement to retest, only an eye exam once you turn 80 years old.
We think it's because there's a lot of people from the Northeast who are here on vacation or extended vacation. It's in the season and they are used to that kind of driving, and then there are some local people, maybe more elderly, who are slower.
I think, you know, as I approach older age, there's got to be a point where we have to retest people.
Tonight, in a special report on ABC 7 News at 5, ABC 7's Haley Wilkes will be getting behind the wheel to test her own driving skills. ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now with a look at the day on Wall Street so far, and an up and down morning so far on Wall Street. Richard?
Scott, you're exactly right, up and down, but when we look at the numbers right now, they're basically like everybody's got Super Bowl hangover or something. Not much going on, but we do have a 92-point range top to bottom. The Dow was down by 69 points at the low, up by 23 points at the high. And as you're about to see, not much right now. Let's take a look at the figures as they stand. There you see the Dow up by less than 4 points, 0.02% at 20,075.34 on light volume of 317 million shares. Talk about no change. Look at the NASDAQ, up less than 1.11% at 5,667.66. That on volume of 844 million shares. The biggest move of the day, and I'd hardly call it a big move, the S&P down by 12/100ths, not even 3 points at 2,294.63. Well, a quiet morning, but I know of one stock that's really going to town. Hasbro, the toy maker, its shares are up by 13% this morning. They recorded record revenues. They announced an increase in their dividend and $5 billion worth of revenue for the first time ever. The reason for it? Well, two things. Frozen, remember that? Well, all the toys from Frozen and all the dolls from Frozen, and also Princess from Disney. Both of those toys had been made by Mattel in the past. Mattel lost that contract to Hasbro, and as you can see, for the Hasbro beneficiary, if you own the shares, you're having a pretty good morning. Scott?
Anything connected to that movie is going to do well, that's for sure.
Absolutely right.
And we'll see you again at 5.
I will be here.
With the closing numbers. All right, Richard, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
A new water taxi service could soon be cruising across our waters. Paradise Boat Tours of Bradenton Beach is applying for a permit to operate a 125-passenger ferry out of either Centennial Park in Sarasota or Marina Jack. The ferry would run back and forth between Sarasota and Bradenton Beach. If it's approved, ferries can begin running immediately, and it would run 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Round-trip fares would cost about $12. Let's get over to the kitchen now, check in for the first time with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher and see what she's fixing for us today. Hi, Judy.
Well, hi there, Scott. On a beautiful day outside, we can go either way with this great weather. So I decided to do a shrimp curry. Curry is one of those things that's wonderful to entertain with because all the garnishes make for a really festive event. But on a weeknight, I need a lot of items that are super quick. So I'm using some jars from my pantry and some great seasonings to bring this alive. I bought the shrimp frozen on sale, split it into 2 bags, so I still have another portion that I can do next week, and I have all these great garnishes. So stay with me as I bring you a simple but really flavorful shrimp curry today.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Gold fever is at an all-time high in the Sunshine State with the new Gold Rush Doubler family of scratch-off games. Everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. With over $1 billion in total cash prizes, the Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman are the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
There they are, our two feathered friends Sarah and Soda that have made this area their home for the last couple of years. hopefully we'll be seeing some eggs pretty soon, and we'll watch them raise their young. By the way, just a reminder, the video streams live 24/7, including this year night cameras, and it's all available at mysuncoast.com. Just click on the Osprey button and enjoy the show. It's going to be kind of fun, I think. Neat. They've been spending a lot of time in that nest. That's generally a precursor to the egg laying, so we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. 76 degrees Tampa, 80 Fort Myers, 78 degrees in West Palm Beach, Gainesville at 72, Tallahassee at 70, 71 Panama City. Everybody's warm. Everybody's warm right now, and certainly we are too. 77 in Parrish, Bradenton, Sarasota, 79 already in Venice, 82 degrees in Northport. 81 in Arcadia, 77 Wauchula, and Mayaca comes in at 80. Currently, we have high dew point values across the region, almost 60-degree dew points. When your dew points get into the 60s, it starts to feel a little humid, and that east wind at about 7 helping to pump some of that moisture across the peninsula and into our area led to a little bit of patchy fog this morning. Over the next several mornings, I think we have a chance of seeing that fog again, and I think our afternoon humidities are going to continue to rise because we're going to watch that east wind shift a little more southeast as we head into the next several days. This is all the precursor to a frontal boundary heading in our direction. Good news on the red tide status. According to marine spotters, this is the most recent observations, and only one location is showing any kind of irritants in the air. Not necessarily in the waters, but in the air, the actual feeling you get when you go to the beach. Only one location, that's Nokomis. And frankly, the Nokomis observation is a couple of days old now, so my confidence is much lower in that observation than it is in these other observations, which are showing the green flag flying. So good news there. If you want to get out and enjoy this evening sunset, I think it should be a pretty nice one. We'll have kind of a mix of sun and clouds, and inland areas may see an isolated shower. That's not out of the question, but we have a lot of dry air still, which is going to limit the extent of showers for the next several days. That dry air moving across the region helps to kind of give us just that thin, shallow layer of moisture at the surface that produced the morning fog. Nothing on radar right now. Don't really anticipate a whole lot around. Put the rain chance along the coastline at next to nothing. This is an area of disturbed weather stretching from Texas to the Louisiana Delta region on up through Kentucky and Tennessee that we will monitor today for the potential of some severe weather. Otherwise, the northeast looks pretty good. Some lake effect snow, that's about it. And then back to the west, these double barrel low pressure areas are producing some excessive rainfall again over the next several days in parts of California and Oregon, particularly from about the LA basin northward, and then snow at higher elevations. There's some colder air sinking down out of Canada behind the low pressure areas, and I think some of that will help energize this low pressure area lifting off to the north and to the east. For us, both of those lows kind of nudge that high out into the Atlantic, shifting our winds out of the southeast and giving us warm afternoons, humid afternoons for the next several days. It also sets the stage potentially for a few scattered showers. And we'll watch on Thursday as a front finally makes it on our doorstep and brings us that chance of rain. But some much cooler temperatures and just slices through the humidity as we head into the weekend. Northwest wind shifting to the northeast overnight tonight and eventually to the east again tomorrow. We'll look for a southeast wind to develop by the afternoon tomorrow. 20% chance of an inland-only shower. Don't expect to see much near the coast. 10% chance tomorrow. And then as we head into Thursday, we'll up the rain chance to 30% as the front moves through. Clears us out, cools us off, just in time for the weekend. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In health news today, Republicans are still working to repeal Obamacare, but will have to wait for its replacement. President Trump says Americans may have to wait until next year for his health care plan. The president speaking with Fox's Bill O'Reilly over the weekend during the Super Bowl. He says it could take until 2018 to roll out his proposal to replace Obamacare, but adds some elements of that plan could be in place this year. Trump calls the Affordable Care Act a disaster and says his plan would be, quote, wonderful. The flu is spreading across dozens of states. That's according to the latest report from the CDC. More than 12,000 cases of influenza A have been reported across the country. 51 out of 54 of the United States and its territories are now experiencing higher levels of flu and flu-like symptoms. They include New Jersey, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, New York, and South Carolina, where they're highest. Late January to mid-February is the peak season for flu. Coming up next, the New England Patriots celebrating a nail-biting comeback win at Super Bowl 51. How the team plans on bringing their victory celebration to Florida today. Plus, more historical celebrations across the pond as the Queen of England commemorates 65 years on the British throne. We'll be right back.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
If you want to rediscover the smooth, radiant skin of your past, consider a facelift, eyelid lift, or laser resurfacing from Faces by Fezza. Restore your natural, youthful appearance and the confidence that goes with it when you trust your face to the expert hands of Dr. John Fezza. Using a delicate touch, he gives you natural-looking contours, a clean jawline, and long-lasting results. Call today to schedule a private consultation, because when you look good, you feel good. Faces by Fezza at Center for Sight.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
My yard, it's overgrown, it's out of control, it's a huge problem.
I showed Randy our entire line of outdoor power equipment. We have everything he needs.
Ace is the place that lets you clear land like a modern-day pioneer. Yeah!
Don't miss these February red-hot buys on wild bird food and Scott's Bonus S Weed and Feed. 6 convenient Sarasota locations and now open in Bradenton, Northport, and soon Osprey.
Celebration continues today for the New England Patriots, the team rallying from 25 points down to win in overtime by a touchdown over the Atlanta Falcons. The comeback was led by star quarterback Tom Brady. He passed for 466 yards, 2 touchdowns, and basically they wore out the Atlanta defense late in that game. His passing attempts and yardage set Super Bowl records. He also received his 4th Super Bowl MVP award, which is a record for the title game. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, who suspended Brady for 4 games in connection with the Deflategate scandal, presented the Vince Lombardi Trophy to the Patriots, and he was roundly booed when he did so. But those boos quickly turned to cheers as the now 5-time Super Bowl winning quarterback hoisted the trophy.
I'm so proud of our guys. Everyone back in Boston, New England, we love you. You've been with us all year. We're bringing this sucker home.
President Donald Trump, who was rooting heavily for the Patriots, came close to being perfect on his Super Bowl prediction, calling for an 8-point New England win. Last night's Super Bowl also had some epic ads, and we'll show you some of the best a little later in our newscast. Also today, the Patriots are taking their Super Bowl win to Disney World. A parade is planned this afternoon at the Magic Kingdom. This will be the 5th time team members will share a float with Mickey Mouse right down Main Street, USA. Celebratory trips to Disney has been a tradition now for the past 30 years. Festivities start around 2:25 this afternoon. It's a good time to be working for Heinz Ketchup. The company has successfully resurrected the controversial idea of making the Monday after the Super Bowl a national holiday by giving its employees the day off. The company even circulated a petition in favor of what they're calling Smunday and promised to send it on to Congress once it hit 100,000 signatures. Sounds good. All right, back to the kitchen now and see how lunch is coming along with Chef Judy. She's fixing a delicious shrimp curry for us today. Judy?
That's right, Scott, but there's no ketchup in this recipe. So as I said, it's really easy to make curry. And if you're cooking for two, you may not want to have to buy all the ingredients. So simple Indian sauces that you can pick up in your grocery store are going to work beautifully. The first thing we're going to do is chop 1 medium-sized onion, and we're going to start to get that cooking. Now that I hear it sizzle, I can lower the heat just a little bit, and I'm cooking with about, a half a tablespoon of vegetable oil, and that should hold the heat well. Olive oil is just going to separate. Now we're going to add some grated fresh ginger and some minced garlic. Another idea is over in the produce aisles of a store like a Publix, they have tubes of ginger, cilantro, things like that. That's going to last you a lot longer. When I buy a nub of ginger, I use it very quickly because I love ginger, and I also steep tea at home with it. So the ginger, the garlic, and the onions, the aroma is just great, just like this. We're going to start to bring in the flavors. Right now, this is the Malaysian ginger curry powder that I got over at the Spice and Tea Exchange. Always a little extra turmeric is really nice to bring up that flavor. There's salt in the sauce, so I'm going to sit back and not do salt, but do some pepper. This is a perfect time if you want to do a little combination of some cinnamon and some cloves. Again, it's kind of taking a dish, using a sauce already made, but making it your own. So a little bit of cloves and a little bit of cinnamon for my spice mix, and this is going to work just perfectly. Okay, so we'll get that to saute. Now, I have a biryani sauce and I have a regular masala sauce because I didn't want to run to the store just to buy a particular curry sauce. This is going to work beautifully. Wait till you see what we do. So we'll simmer the sauce, stir it around, want to get some really good flavor. A great idea if you want to do a meatless Monday dish would be omit the shrimp, and you can stop at Yoder's Produce Market and buy butternut squash already peeled and cut. So they took all the work out of that. What I do is I par cook that. I roast that in the oven just for about 10 minutes just to get it a little bit tender. Oh man, this smells so good just now as it simmers. So when we come back, we're going to add the shrimp, add some coconut milk, and really get creative with our toppings. I'll be back in just a few minutes to show you how.
The agents at SWC would like to show you pictures of all the homes that they've sold quickly for their clients. But they're just too many to show. Contact SWC today and find out for yourself. We just market your home better.
Join ABC7 at the all-new 2017 edition of Circus Sarasota. Synergy under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park, behind the mall at UTC, Friday, February 10th through Sunday, March 5th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off, courtesy of ABC7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org, the Circus Sarasota box office at the big top, or call 941-355-9805.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman are the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Come out to the best party of the season, the Goodwill Mardi Gras Gala on February 28th at Michael's on E. Tickets at experiencegoodwill.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, Contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. The teenager accused of killing the wife of a Florida State University professor in London is now confessing to the crime. 19-year-old Zakaria Bulhan pleading guilty to manslaughter in the slaying of 64-year-old Darlene Horton. Last August, the teen allegedly stabbed Horton and 5 other people near a British museum. Horton died from her injuries. Prosecutors say the teen was suffering an acute episode of paranoid schizophrenia at the time. Horton was visiting London with her husband, Florida State University psychology professor Richard Wagner. They were due to fly home the very next day. In Georgia, a sheriff's deputy is dead after inhaling liquid nitrogen. Deputy Sheriff Greg Meager died in the line of duty over the weekend. Investigators say he was trying to rescue a worker from a building that had a chemical leak. At least 3 other deputies were treated after they complained of difficulty breathing. The cause of that chemical leak remains under investigation. Big break in a New York City murder case. A suspect is charged in the death of a jogger who was killed 6 months ago. This is a big relief for her family, but investigators say they still have a long way to go. ABC's Mara Schiavo-Campo has more.
Why'd you do it? A long-awaited break in the case of murdered New York City jogger Karina Vetrano, just days after the 6-month anniversary of her death.
Why'd you kill her?
20-year-old Chanel Lewis arrested and arraigned on second-degree murder.
The demon must get his justice.
Oh, yeah.
And we will see to it.
Police saying Lewis admitted he attacked the 30-year-old fitness enthusiast, punching her on the face and head before he allegedly sexually assaulted and strangled the victim around the neck.
It appears to be a chance encounter.
Vetrano disappeared shortly after 5 p.m. last August. Surveillance video obtained from Crime Watch Daily capturing her jogging in a Queens Park just moments before the brutal attack.
She lit up the room when she walked in.
Hours later, her father, a retired firefighter who missed their regular run because of a back injury, discovering her lifeless body just feet from the running trail.
We need to find this predator.
Last week, after months of dead ends, police say they went back to old clues, leading them to Lewis, who officials say received 3 summonses for suspicious activity near the park in 2013. Adding, neighbors called police about him months before the attack on Vetrano. When officials tracked Lewis to his mother's house, they say he voluntarily gave them a cheek swab, his DNA reportedly matching samples from the crime scene.
Karina helped us identify this person. She had the DNA under her nails. We got it from her.
But now the suspect's family is defending him, saying they don't believe the charges.
He's a wonderful young man. He wouldn't have done it.
Developing this afternoon overseas, at least 119 people are dead after a series of avalanches in Afghanistan. Another 89 people have been hurt. The avalanches were triggered just by heavy snowfall across the country. They destroyed about 190 homes and at least 2 villages are buried in snow. And officials there are expecting these numbers to rise as rescue teams make their way through the affected areas. Here in Florida, a final round of hearings will be taking place over a sunken cargo ship. The United States Coast Guard has begun hearing testimony regarding the Jacksonville-based El Faro. The 790-foot freighter sank in October of 2015 after getting caught in Hurricane Joaquin. In December, the audio transcripts were released from the ship's black box data recorder. It includes the crew's final moments before the ship went down. Testimony is expected to last about 2 weeks. Multiple meteor sightings in the Midwest. The National Weather Service says it's been getting Facebook posts about meteors in the skies above Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana in the last week. This particular one is from a police dash cam in Illinois early this morning. One man describes the sighting as a very bright and green, and you could see it breaking apart. Some sightings have been reported as far north as Canada. Always spectacular when you see something like that. Yeah.
We had one around here that was pretty spectacular a while back. I guess there are about 3,000 a year that actually make it into the hit the earth.
Right.
So pretty impressive video.
Yeah.
Cameras everywhere. We have some camera actually at Lakewood Ranch shooting video this morning of the beautiful sky that filled with clouds for a brief period of time, then kind of cleared out again, then some more clouds moved on in from time to time. We have a slight chance of seeing some of those clouds in inland areas produce a spot of drizzle. Nothing much more than that though. Otherwise, I think most of the area, including the coastline, is going to stay dry. Taking a look at the satellite view right now, there's no large-scale systems headed our way at this point, but we certainly have our eye on one that may eventually get here later in the work week. Warm today. Daytime high probably topping out near the 80-degree mark, or a little cooler than. We're already at 77. And then as we head into the evening, we'll watch temperatures taper off a little more slowly than we have over the last several nights because the humidity is up. We'll talk about that, chances of rain in the future, and a big cool down coming our way in just a few minutes, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, at least 97 companies have filed a legal brief opposing President Trump's executive order on immigration. That's according to a report by Bloomberg News. The companies are stressing the importance of immigrants in society and the economy. Some companies involved in all this include Apple, Airbnb, Facebook, Google, Intel, Netflix, and Uber. Bloomberg reports the companies had planned to file a brief later this week, but filed sooner after other legal challenges to that order. A major shakeup at luxury jewelry brand Tiffany. The company announcing its CEO, Frederick Kumenal, is leaving that post. His 2-year tenure was stained by a major sales slump. The announcement came just as Tiffany debuted its first Super Bowl ad featuring Lady Gaga. The company now searching for a new CEO. It's royal celebrations all around today for Queen Elizabeth II. She's making history by becoming the first British monarch to reach the milestone of 65 years on the throne. A sapphire jubilee marking the monumental moment this morning included cannon salutes in London's Green Park and at the Tower of London. The 90-year-old became queen back in 1952 following the death of her father. In 2015, Elizabeth surpassed Queen Victoria as Britain's longest-serving monarch. Long live the Queen. Let's get back to the kitchen now and see how lunch is coming with Judy Gallagher. Hi, Judy.
Hey there. So curry is popular in England. I'm thinking maybe the Queen will be having some of this for supper tonight. So we've reduced down the sauce just a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some canned coconut milk. They also come in small cartons, so if you're making just a small amount, that little carton is probably going to work really well for you. So we're going to stir this in, and then we're going to add our shrimp. And just because it looks really pretty with the tail on, I'm going to leave it that way because the great thing about curry is you can just really get into it, and it is certainly proper to pick it up with your fingers and eat the shrimp and just leave the tail. So that's going to simmer just for about 3 minutes. Over here you can see we already simmered it. Now my key today is you can certainly use a basmati rice, but to be a little different, this is exciting. I found an Indian spice quinoa in a packet. It's great for a weeknight, so it has a lot of flavor and vegetables. So microwave it for 1 minute. That's it, just 1 minute. Then we're going to take our curry that's already, the shrimp's already simmered down in this one. We have that beautiful coconut milk that's making it bright, and we have all those flavors. We added the extra cinnamon into it. And now it's really fun because what you do is you basically just create a little condiment bar. So we have coconut for guests. We're going to put some raisins in there, golden raisins or regular raisins, whichever you prefer. Some peanuts. I like to put mango, especially if we have mango trees in our backyard. The mango is going to balance that heat because you are going to get a kick from that, okay? So we'll get a couple more raisins right there in the center. And then I'm just going to tear off some cilantro. and just kind of sprinkle that all over the sides. It really makes for a fun and creative dish, and like I said, you can certainly use vegetables instead of the shrimp, but I really like how this just makes it a fast but a fun way to cook. So once this shrimp, is simmered down, I'll have enough to serve Scalzi and Scott Dennis, and they can make their own little buffet of what toppings they want. So stay with me. I'm coming back for the grand taste in just a few minutes.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
Once upon a time, there were children who didn't know the magic of books. They didn't have stories to take them on far-off adventures, introduce them to enchanting characters, and teach them to never judge a book by its cover. When you open your mind to new things, you never know what you might find inside. Now you can give stories that change lives. Go to magicofstorytelling.com and help give new books to children who need them. Be inspired to give all children the chance to follow their dreams.
How hard is it to stop a stroke? It is challenging, it is difficult, and every second counts. A comprehensive stroke center gives the patient a better chance to walk out with minimal to no disability. We are able to offer treatments above and beyond the standard 3 hours after the onset of a stroke. A place like Sarasota Memorial Hospital really increases those chances of giving back a better quality of life.
Florida's last private island is a waterfront lifestyle like no other. This is Harbor Isle, just 5 minutes from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island. This sun-splashed paradise invites you to enjoy natural adventures and all the recreation of a tropical resort. Island coach homes and waterfront condos are now available from the high 400s, plus incredible savings on move-in ready homes. Come tour 6 designer models. This is the time of your life. Make it island time at Harbor Isle. Go to mintofla.com now.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
One bird left in the nest right now. Sarah, I'm imagining, I believe Soda has taken off for a period of time. We'll watch them, I guess, feathering their nest, you would call it. Hopefully we'll see an egg laid pretty soon. I suspect so. The live video stream, by the way, always available at mysuncoast.com. Click on the Osprey button at the top of the page and it'll take you right to it. Also, night vision cameras lets us watch the birds all through the nighttime hours as well. Cool little close-up there. As far as our forecast goes, we have a 77 air temperature with a dew point of 59. East wind blows at about 7, and we have a few fair weather clouds out there. Temperatures across the region, all of them warm. 77 in Arcadia, Mayaca, Northport, Venice, Sarasota, even an 81 down in Punta Gorda. 75 degrees in Perry, 76 in Bradenton, Longboat Key cooler at 72. Not a lot of widespread cloud masses across the state of Florida. Plenty of sunshine today. You will notice gathering clouds back to the west. That is an area of low pressure and a cold front developing that will eventually kind of team up with other systems to work its way through here and bring us a bit of a cool down as we head into the end of the work week. No rain showers currently across the region, and frankly our rain shower chances are pretty meager today, especially along the coastline. Now inland we may see a shower or two kind of come up from the south or from the east, southeast, maybe. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us today, tomorrow, the day after, and then we'll watch this frontal boundary approach, triggering off some rain showers that will team up with some slightly cooler air, kind of get energized and pose a threat of some severe weather actually to the north of us. But by the time it limps through here, it will not have any severe weather threat whatsoever. In fact, we'll be grateful for a few showers if it does produce that on Thursday. High pressure will be nudged into the Atlantic. Our winds turn accordingly to the southeast, maybe even southwest by the time we get to Wednesday. And that will pump the humidity back our way. Mostly sunny skies, dry again today for the most part, and a bit warmer than it was 24 hours ago. In fact, significantly warmer, only hit 71 degrees yesterday. We'll be close to 80 today. We have a few scattered showers on our future cast down to the south. Those riding on a general easterly wind or southeasterly wind may bring a few scattered showers to inland areas, but it's this area back to the west that we'll continue to watch as it advances closer to us. By probably Thursday, that front will be on our doorstep, work its way through, and bring us that chance of a shower or two. And then switch our winds around, then significantly lower our temperatures. Winds right now, northwest shifting northeast this evening out there on open waters. It'll be a nice wind, nice day for boating actually, with 2-foot seas and just a light chop on your bay and inland waters. Couple of tides we had about an hour ago, almost 2 now. High tide at 11 o'clock. The next tide, a low tide, comes in about an hour at 2 o'clock. And then the last tide of the day is a high tide coming just slightly before 8 o'clock this evening. So the forecast looks pretty good for us. We'll put about a 20% chance of an inland shower in today. And by a shower, I mean spritz of rain. That's about it. Tomorrow, I'll put in a 10% chance for everyone as our winds turn increasingly south. And I think the humidity starts to rise as well. Thursday, our best rain chance day of the week as the front moves through. And then we slice through the humidity and lower our temperatures. Should be a pretty nice couple of days. Scott?
All right, John, thank you so much. Every player on the New England Patriots taking home a $107,000 bonus. There's also a separate pay scale for making appearances leading up to the big game. Those appearances could bring in an estimated $20,000 to $100,000. And speaking of the Super Bowl, some of the biggest and boldest ads of the year aired last night during the big game. Some played for laughs, others were more political. ABC's Paula Ferris has a look.
In his first ever Super Bowl ad, Mr. Clean wowing the audience with sex appeal. In a spotless performance that mopped up much of the Super Bowl buzz, the bald spokesman made over as a sex symbol, immediately one of the biggest trends on Twitter for much of the game. And perhaps the most prolific tweeter during the game, Mr. Clean himself, even going after Terry Bradshaw for that stain on his shirt. That turned out to be an ad as well.
We're back in 5. PB, you gotta clean that shirt. Oh.
That stain, all a stunt for Tide.
Hey, Terry, it's not what's on here that counts. It's what's in here.
Really?
One of 4 spots purchased by parent company Procter & Gamble. The first time the company has run more than a single commercial during the game. Celebrity power also winning overnight, with Melissa McCarthy getting big laughs running from rhinos while representing Kia.
It's hard to be an eco-warrior.
And a star-studded ad for Honda that included Jimmy Kimmel, Viola Davis, Amy Adams, Robert Redford, and Steve Carell, inspiring viewers to go for their dreams.
You think that any of these folks believed that I'd make it?
Definitely not.
That was a rhetorical question, Daryl.
But many companies making a statement with a more somber tone.
84 Lumber reworking their original ad after it was deemed too controversial by Fox. The company posting the fuller version online Sunday night. 6 million people flooding the site within an hour of the spot airing.
What do I tell my daughter?
Tugging at the heartstrings, this spot for Audi, focusing on equal pay, going viral even before Sunday's broadcast.
She will automatically be valued as less than every man she ever meets. Or maybe I'll be able to tell her something different.
Paula Ferris reporting there. Meanwhile, Airbnb follows up its Super Bowl ad with a major announcement regarding housing. Companies calling for a campaign that would offer short-term housing to more than 100,000 people in need over the next 5 years. The plan will focus on refugees, disaster survivors, and relief workers. Companies also donating $4 million. Their Super Bowl ad featured faces of people of different races and included the line, quote, "The world is more beautiful the more you accept." When we come back, we'll wrap up our shrimp curry with Chef Judy, and after a stunning Super Bowl performance, Lady Gaga follows up with another special surprise for her fans. That story next in entertainment news.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
With granny nannies, they get to stay in the comfort of their own home.
It still gives them the dignity and the respect that they deserve. I do everything I can to make their lives easier.
To see them smile, to be there on their bad days as well as their good days, and be able to make their bad days a better day. It's about giving them the quality of life they deserve. I am Granny Nannies, a helping hand and a gentle heart.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Ideologue. I am an originalist.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Beautiful dish Judy Gallagher created here with curry. I love this.
Lots of different spices, and that's really basically using a lot of already made items, so we didn't have to add the tomatoes and buy the jalapeno and everything. And what's really nice is in the very end I add some of that delicious organic yogurt, and that just kind of cools that heat down with the mango, so you have pops of heat and then pops of simmery coolness.
You've
and
got
it's
the fruitiness as well.
Yeah,
it's really delicious.
Good.
Yep.
Nice and easy.
Recipe on our website, mysuncoast.com. Go on there, click on the dining link page, and it'll give you everything you need to know, including video instructions to cook it yourself. Could you, if you wanted to use something other than shrimp, would this be good with, I don't know, chicken?
Just about anything. Chicken, turkey, tenderloin, pork, and I brought in some cut butternut squash from Yoder's because that's a great option. That with maybe some chickpeas, keep it vegetarian. It's going to be simple and easy.
Absolutely delicious. Thanks, Judy.
Thank you.
Scott?
All right, guys, thank you. At the box office this weekend, the thriller Split was the top earner for a third straight week with an estimated $14.6 million. Horror flick Rings was in second place, and then A Dog's Purpose dropped to third place. Hidden Figures and La La Land rounded out the top 5. Stranger Things returning to Netflix. The 1980s set science fiction series is coming back to the streaming service for a second season. Netflix announcing the comeback with a preview of a trailer during the Super Bowl. The series will air later this year, right around the time of Halloween. Lady Gaga follows up her Super Bowl performance with the announcement of a new world tour. The star tweeting the news late Sunday night. Her Joanne tour starts August 1st in Vancouver and then will end in Salt Lake City mid-December. Tickets will begin to go on sale next Monday. Finally, the Super Bowl wasn't the only kind of bowl going on this weekend. A man consumed more than 400 chicken wings, making him the champ at this year's annual Wing Bowl in Philadelphia. 10,000 wings were cooked for the competitors to chomp on. The winner, who calls himself Notorious B.O.B., ate 409 of them. For his prize, he took home a Hyundai Santa Fe, Wing Bowl ring, $10,000, and some Mylanta. This isn't the first time he's won. His past victories include eating 20 pounds of grits and lots of chowder as well.
I don't even know how that is possible.
I just lost my appetite for wings.
Oh, that's it. I'm done. Boo.
400. How, I don't even understand how there's that much volume in the human cavity.
Yeah. Where does it go?
That's amazing.
But you're right. It's ruined chicken wings for life for me. Darn it.
Next Super Bowl, maybe. We'll forget about this story. All right.
Warm temperatures this afternoon, then a front moves through later in the week and cools us back down just in time for the weekend. Like that, going to see some temperatures again in the low 70s like we did over the weekend on Sunday. That was kind of nice. I enjoyed that.
Had the house open.
Oh,
That
was great.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day ahead, and we'll see you again at 5 o'clock.